Hi guys, this is Arkelle here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit differently, as you can see. I'm not doing Q&A today. Today I'm pretty much going to be sort of talking about what I'm drawing as I work on it. I did ask about this if you guys would like to see that, so I'm going to go ahead and try my best to sort of like tell you guys sort of what I'm doing as I'm drawing. Just so you guys can get like a little bit of a better feel of exactly what I'm doing, because I know that sometimes like people don't always understand like visual things and they kind of need like an oral explanation too. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that and see how that works out. I've never done this before, so so let's see how this goes. Oh dear God. All right. So basically, as you can see here, I have a drawing, and of course, just like any other drawing I do, I always go ahead and like outline it or ink it or whatever you call that. I don't know. And I use my Copic SP multiliner in 0.03 in sepia color. It's not black. It's like a kind of reddish brownish color. And I go ahead and I ink that first. In that color, just because it's a lot softer. And if you've ever asked me this question, of course, I don't use black for inking, just because it's too dark and I don't particularly care for it with my own particular art. So yeah, I mean, I've explained how I kind of ink and stuff before. I kind of I try to vary the line weight, and basically what line weight is like the thickness and variation in your lines. So like where like his hair is kind of like hidden behind other strands of hair, I'll make it slightly darker, make the line a bit thicker, and then make the other lines that are not so much covered up a bit thinner. Of course, it's not really like a dramatic difference, but just varying that line weight just even a little bit, it just adds a bit of, you know, more depth and dimension and stuff. So this is kind of going to be a little bit repetitive just going on. So I guess I might as well just like talk a bit about this picture. I don't know what thumbnail I'll choose for this, but if I happen to choose a later thumbnail, then you might get the sense of this. But if not, I'll just say that this is kind of a more darker sort of art. I actually ended up using a ton of black in this, which I did intend, of course. I always sort of plan out what colors and things I'm going to be doing, but I usually try to avoid coloring with black as much as possible. I've explained the reason why for that before, but yeah, I do try to like avoid using black a lot. But anyway, this particular drawing, I wanted to try a lot of different like new sort of things for me that I don't usually do a lot, or that I haven't done, or that I think that I should do, or, you know, just experimenting, because I love experimenting and trying new things. So yeah, I ended up actually using a lot of like darker colors and black and red and these really intense dark colors to just give it a really, really dark sort of mood. And of course, if you guys know, I adore dark art. Oh, I love that kind of darkness in art. It's really beautiful to me. But I usually try to do it as a more like cutesy kind of darkness. I don't know how to explain that. I like that sort of like contradictory darkness. Like it has a very dark like feel to it, and yet the colors and, you know, the theme is really bright and cute, so it's very contradictory. I usually do most of that stuff, but for this particular drawing I wanted to do like that like darkness that, you know, that we assume that we normally think of when we think of darkness. So anyway, now I'm getting into the coloring. This is on Copic paper. Now basically, again, I was like experimenting, so what I had done was I'd actually inked the entire drawing on a regular like printer paper, which is what I usually sketch on, and then I actually took that paper into the scanner and I scanned that picture and then printed it out on my Copic paper. I had never done that before, but I don't have a light table, so trying to like redraw my drawings onto Copic paper is just, I don't like doing it. It takes forever, and I actually have to like use my computer as a light table, and that is just, oh, it's terrible. So anyway, I scanned that into the computer and then I printed it out. And yeah, and so I printed out my Copic paper, which I am coloring now. And kind of my idea for this was, I mean, if you really want to like understand like the entire idea of this particular picture, then I'll go ahead and link the picture itself on my DeviantArt. I'll go ahead and link that so you can read about like all the specifics as to why, you know, I made this and the meaning and whatever. But basically what I was going for here is trying something a bit different and shading everything in gray first. Like trying to give this a very like cool sort of grayish tone, the entire thing, or all of him I should say, not the entire picture, but him himself, give him like all this sort of grayish tone. Again, there's more symbolism and stuff. I'm not gonna explain that here. I'll let you guys read about that if you feel like it and stuff. But I never like colored with Copic markers in the sort of gray. So I really did want to try that out because, I don't know, it seemed like lots of fun and it really like sort of fit with the like theme I was going for. So yeah, just sort of like going over, you can see I'm going over with my grays. And of course you guys know that I always color from darkest to light. Except for when it comes to hair. You guys probably noticed that I put the lighter color on first. Hair is probably the one thing I don't color usually from darkest to light. I kind of like to layer that more. But it really depends. Hair is like the one thing I usually don't do darkest to light with. I usually like overlay it, if that makes sense. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just basically starting with like in the darker black areas, putting the really dark black color, and then a sort of like medium grayish color, and then going over with the lightest grayish color. I usually use 3 colors for everything, usually, just for their, you know, basic coloring. I use 3 colors. So yeah, I'm basically doing that, and oh geez, I actually really like how this kind of looks in just a sort of gray color without any of the like darkness and stuff added yet, or any of the other like added colors. I might think about doing something just in the gray Copics someday, like just the gray Copics, because I actually do think it looks really cool. I like the way his hair looks right now. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. Just going into the little details and adding more marker and stuff. And yeah, oh, and by the way, if I happen to like pick up the paper, it's just because I'm picking it up to see it in a different light and see if I like the colors. If you're wondering about that, why I pick up the paper and it's suddenly gone for a second. So yeah, this is not like a completely Copic drawing. I actually am using a lot of my Prismacolor Verithin pencils with this too. You'll see a lot more right in here. Here you go, I start with the pencils. I actually sort of combine the Copics and the pencils. And that's something I actually see quite a lot, and I've never actually done that, like really, you know, tried that. So I wanted to try that too. Again, this is like a big experiment, playing with lots of different new things that I wanted to try and stuff. So yeah, mixing the Copics with the colored pencils was something that I wanted to try in this too. And here you can kind of see what I mean, like about the color, and it's not all gray and it gets darker and stuff. You'll see. You'll see what I'm talking about, how this it looks very light when I start out and then it gets quite dark. Not super, you understand what I mean. I'm just digging myself in a hole here. Oh dear Lord. But yeah, I don't know. Here I'm kind of going in with an orangey color. And, oh, if I didn't say so, this is my original character, and his character is based off of the Pokemon Reshiram, which is from 5th Gen. It's a legendary from Pokemon Black. And anyway, so yeah, he's my character that's based off that Pokemon. And if you've ever seen Reshiram, it has this kind of like glowing sort of tail that's like, it's like a fire type, so it has this kind of glowing tail. Anyway, that's why his hair is so ridiculously long and ridiculous and swirled. And anyway, it's supposed to kind of, it's supposed to resemble Reshiram's tail. So, and that tail sort of like lights up with this fiery sort of glow. And I've actually never like shown his hair kind of like that, because that's kind of like, again, it's like representation of Reshiram's tail as his hair. So I've never actually done that. So I really wanted to give it sort of like this like fiery sort of glowing effect. Which is kind of what I'm going for in this sort of drawing, is that he's sort of like radiating this kind of reddish color or something. Or something, I don't know. It's hard to explain this sort of stuff. Oh, I'm not good at this. Anyway, yeah, here, you're actually, the video is going to cut out right here because my camera died right around this point, but I'm actually just going over the entire background with some Copics, doing this sort of black to red gradient, again, to sort of make that sort of like radiating light, red light sort of thing going on. And yeah, here you can see that a giant piece is skipped and the background is already done. Yeah, like I said, my camera just sort of cut out, and to be honest, it probably makes you guys cringe to see me color such wide areas with Copics, but I don't I honestly, it's my markers, and I don't really care if I use them a lot in wide areas. I mean, the paper I use doesn't really, honestly, it does not absorb a lot of ink. It doesn't like soak it in like cardstock and other kind of papers can. So I don't really mind like covering large areas. It doesn't really bother me. It doesn't waste a lot of ink. Okay, and here, I know someone's going to ask me about this. They're going to be like, oh my god, what magic is this? How do you do that? Basically, all I'm doing is taking hand sanitizer and using a little brush and making those little cross forms. And in the back, the little lines, those are colored pencils, just making little lines over the Copic. And of course here, I'm just sort of going over, adding little details, and using my little white gel pen to make little dots and effect and stuff over that too, because I love my little white dots. Huh. And again, just sort of going in little areas and fixing them up and stuff. And making things a bit brighter and more intense and blah 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 blah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I am so terrible at explaining things like while it's actually going. I'm sorry. That probably didn't make any sense, and I was probably just rambling. But yeah, hopefully I get better at this sort of thing in the future. I just don't know what to say. I'm like, here I'm coloring, and here I'm coloring again, and anyway, yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for watching. I might do more videos kind of like this, maybe for like more complex things like this, but probably not like chibis and stuff like that. I probably won't bother explaining that sort of thing. But if I have something that's kind of complex or that uses a lot of different mediums or different techniques or whatever, then I might do this again in the future. We'll see, we'll see. But yeah, definitely, thank you guys for watching so much. Thanks for all your comments and faves and subscribers and stuff. Oh my goodness. It's pretty amazing to me. So yeah. There will be more Watch Me Draw videos in the future and tutorials and things like that too, so look forward to that. And thank you guys again. Thank you guys again for watching. Bye. Oh my god, I'm so lame. Kill me now.